Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Audrey Jerome, as you all know, and if you don't, well, hi. Oh my god. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Audrey Jerome, as you all know, and if you don't, well, hi. As you can see, today is the finale's recap. I have decided that I will break down the recaps into two parts. The first part that you're watching right now is all gonna be about the final rose and what happened in the finale. And then the second part that I'll upload during the weekend or next Monday will be about the final rose. And before we even start today's video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, cause I only post banger videos and Bachelor recaps. And without further ado, let's start with the video. Also, disclaimer, if you hear this beep sound, it's the fire alarm. I don't know why it keeps doing this beep sound, but if you hear it, just know it's that. At first, we had the girls meeting Matt's family, and Michelle went up first. I think that Matt's brother looks exactly like Matt. Like, they have the same face. I feel like they have like their dad's color, but they have like the similar head shape as their mom. Anyways, when Michelle came, it was really nice. I felt like it was a really good vibe, and she had a conversation with every single person, with Matt, the mom, and the brother, and the first one was with the brother. Honestly, throughout the entire night, the brother was really mature. Like, I don't know who's older. I don't know if Matt is the eldest son or the brother, but I loved his question. He was very serious, very well spoken, very mature, and he was asking really serious questions. Brother said that he's not necessarily looking for the right answers. He's just gonna talk to the girls and pick up a vibe that like that's not really explainable. But in general, he said that like when he looks at Matt, he sees a new side of Matt, and that he sees that Matt is very happy with Michelle. Then Michelle talked to the mom, and that was a pretty good conversation. You know, at one point they both started crying, which is expected because two girls in the same room talking about one the husband and one the son. Tears are expected. Michelle did share with the mom that she is in love with Matt and that she's confident about her feelings towards Matt. And then Matt talked to his mom, and she said that she understands why Michelle is part of the final two, because Michelle is so sweet, mature, well-spoken, and pretty. Matt did say that apparently Michelle knows that he's falling in love with him, but from what we've seen, Matt has never said I'm falling in love with you to Michelle, and only to Rachel. So unless they said it in the fantasy suites without the cameras on, they were not aware that Matt said it back to Michelle. As I knew, he only said it back to Rachel. Anyways, that was kind of it for Michelle's part of like meeting the family, and now on to Rachel's part. Honestly, when Rachel arrived, you know, she was pretty, but I felt like the body language that Matt was having towards Rachel was very different from Michelle's. I feel like with Michelle, he was more open, he was more touchy, he seemed just a little bit happier and more comfortable. But with Rachel, it was kind of like the basic body language where like you only hold hands and like you're kind of close to each other, but not really. And I'm not sure if only I picked this up, but I just felt like the body language was very different from the two girls. Once again, Rachel did speak to every single family member of Matt's, and she spoke to the mom and the brother. With the brother, again, like he low-key grilled him, but not necessarily grilled him, because just asking mature questions. And he says that he does see a connection between Rachel and Matt, which is a good thing. And then when Rachel talked to the mom, they both started crying, because Rachel talked about their one-on-one where like, you know, she almost died or whatever when they went skydiving. She was just sharing her feelings about Matt with her mom and saying that like, you know, she loves him, she cares about him, she thinks like that he's her person. And then obviously the mom started crying. And again, that was it for Rachel's conversation with the family. When both girls left, it was time for Matt to talk to his family, and things didn't go as planned. And I feel like that's kind of where things went downhill from there. You know, at first, mom was like, she feels good about both girls, and it doesn't matter if he picks Michelle or Rachel. She sees them both in the family, and that she sees the connection with the both of them. She asked Matt if he was ready for a proposal, and he did say yes, but he did share his doubts, saying that he's not necessarily sure of who he's gonna pick at the end of this. And then that is when the mom shared her concerns, and a lot of people are like attacking the mom. And I'm not gonna lie, I do think that she did put her own insecurities that she had in her marriage towards Matt, saying, oh, it's easy to fall out of love, feelings fade. But honestly, yeah, like everyone knows that feelings can fade, but if you're truly in love with the person, like, will not fade. And you know, I'm not mad at Patty for sharing her feelings and sharing how she feels towards Matt, but what she said really did impact Matt and really affected him in a kind of bad way. And like, she just planted all those doubts in him, where all he wanted was reassurance. After talking to his mom, he was very shook and he was very shaken from what the mom said. He had a quick conversation with Chris Harrison. Matt did share with Chris Harrison that his mom planted some doubts in his head, and that now he wasn't really sure of what to do. Chris asked him what is he most afraid of, and Matt said that he just wants to make the right decision for himself and not necessarily go to the easy route, which is proposing to a girl without necessarily feeling ready. And then Chris asked him, do you want to propose to a girl at the end of this? And this guy said, I don't know.
What did she say?
So honestly, I really do think that what the mom said really did affect him. But at the end of the day, you're not your mom, so I feel like, yes, it's good to listen to your parents when they tell you something. But then again, if you know that you actually love a person and if you feel ready for proposal, then you propose. Then we had the date with Michelle. It was nice, you know, they rappelled down the building. And it was nice to see like them working together and like being cute with each other. But when they were rappelling down the building, they really sucked. Like Matt almost fell like 2 times. Michelle was struggling at first. It was really funny because like Matt has really long legs. So like seeing him hold onto the rope and like falling down the building was really funny. And then it got to the night portion of their date, and that is when things went downhill once again, because he kept thinking of what his mom told him, and that really played in his head. It started with Michelle giving him a jersey saying Mr. James, and it had the number 1 on the jersey in the back, and then he gave him another jersey that says Mrs. James, and again with the number 1 in the back. And Matt's face didn't look too good. His face just told me that, yeah, that was gonna be the breakup scene that we're all expecting. Honestly, even before Matt started talking, his eyes were watering, so I could tell that this conversation was going to be a really hard one for him. Long story short, he shared his doubts with Michelle, and he did talk about how his mom kind of said that like it's easy to fall out of love and that feelings can indeed fade away. And he did share that, you know, he's not necessarily sure of his feelings towards Michelle, and he ended by saying that he can't see a future with her. And my girl started crying, and I felt so bad for her because I felt like she was a little bit confident that he was gonna pick her, and I did feel like she felt a little bit blindsided by his decision. And just seeing her cry made me really sad, to be honest. I felt really bad for her. And then after they hugged each other, but it was kind of an awkward goodbye hug, and then all you see is like Matt walking away in the elevator crying his eyes out, and then Michelle on the ground bawling her eyes out. Like, I felt really bad for the both of them, because yeah, I'm not sure if the reason why he did those things was because of the mom, but I do feel like the mom's fault that he has so many doubts. Like, it's normal to have doubts in general, but like he was a little too extreme with the doubts. Like, relax, you know. He ended up going in the elevator and he was really crying. Like, all those tears in the preview at the beginning of the season, that was all for Michelle's breakup. And I felt really bad because it was really obvious that he actually cared about her and that in a way he loved her, but I guess that was not enough. We will never actually know. And then they sat down on the ground and Chris Harrison came and then asked him a few questions, and Matt did say that he loved Michelle, but he was not in love with Michelle, and that's why he did what he had to do. And then he said that he cannot stop thinking of what his mom said, which is not a good thing. Then the next day was supposed to be Rachel's date, but we didn't have that because Matt ended up canceling on Rachel. And obviously, you know, she was crying, she was sad, she felt a little bit blindsided because we all know that like throughout the season, Rachel was pretty confident about her and Matt being together and like getting engaged at the end of this. For him to cancel the date on her the last minute, she felt a little bit blindsided, and of course she was crying in her room and all that. And then the next day, we had the final moment of the season, which was the proposal.
Okay.
I will skip over the details because I find it not really that important anyways. But long story short, at first, you know, Rachel shared her love. She confessed her love for Matt one more time. She was saying, oh, you're my person. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. And, you know, Matt did share those same feelings, but he ended up by not proposing to Rachel. So they did not get engaged in the last episode, but they were still together, and that's how the finale ended. Anyways, guys, that was it. Let me know your thoughts on the finale. Let me know if you loved how Matt did not propose to Rachel. Let me know if you agreed or not agreed. Let me know your thoughts on Matt's mom and if you think that she did play a role in Matt's decision. Let me know how you feel about the whole finale down below in the comment section. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, join the gang, and I'll see you next week for a brand new video. Bye, guys.